Hi, I'm Morgan, and you're listening to My Love Awakening, a writing series that captures a raw and intimate view of the processing and alchemizing I do when it comes to love and relationships. Most importantly, it tells the story of my real-time self-love journey. My hope is these writings can also help you transform into your most free and authentic self. Last year, I fell in love with a woman. Falling in love with Rachel allowed me to access parts of myself that I had suppressed and denied myself of for many, many years. Rachel was the most life-giving breath of fresh air I could have asked for. After 7 years in a relationship that left me numb and in a pattern of self-abandonment, Rachel revived me to the most free and authentic version of myself I had ever had the pleasure of accessing. And once I knew this level of unapologetic freedom lived within me, there was no turning back. Our relationship met a necessary and excruciatingly painful end. I was then tasked with the initiation of healing from this shattering heartbreak so that I could integrate all the beautiful gifts and lessons it offered me in my new life. This catapulted me into my most precious journey of all, learning to love myself and forgive myself. I was living with my best friend Riley. I had found myself in the doorway of Riley's room many times throughout the year we lived together, seeking counsel, seeking advice, seeking support, seeking for her to reflect back to me all that I'm not seeing within myself, as if I'm entering the cave of the wise, all-knowing best friend guru here to guide me during my spiritual awakening. In both joy and sorrow, I found myself under the wood-framed angles of Riley's doorway. I stood below those wood-framed angles laughing, and I stood below them crying. And in this particular moment, I found myself at Riley's doorway riding a wave of gut-wrenching grief courtesy of heartbreak. The initial stages of attempting to detach from an ex-lover is a pain like no other. As our brain creates attachment bonds to lovers in the same region of the brain in which addictions are formed, the withdrawals from the dreaded no-contact rule can be fierce. Just as someone addicted to meth may shiver in the absence of the chemicals running through their veins, the broken-hearted quiver in the absence of their previous substance of choice, their ex-lover. I found myself outside of Riley's door with a raging sea of tears, pacing back and forth in panic, again with the shakes and shivers that resemble those of an addict in withdrawals. I am certain I am possessed with the piercing look of disturbia in my red and tired blue eyes. I had now cut Rachel out for 3 days, and the pain was intolerable. The absence of her in my life was the most deafening silence I have ever experienced. Through the blurred obstruction of the tears in my eyes, I looked at Riley and confessed, "I feel so weak." In this moment, it truly felt as though a piece of me was dying, and it was. It needed to. Riley, locked in on the gaze of my water-filled eyes, and proclaimed with the most serious and loving tone, "You look really strong from here." That moment still inspires goosebumps to poke from my pale, freckled arms as I write it down for you now. I had a friend reach out to me recently who was enduring the grief of ending a 7-year relationship, and while she was describing the pain she was going through, she kept saying things like, "I should be stronger. I wish I could be strong. I know I need to be a warrior, but I keep breaking down. I keep crying." Hearing my friend share the agonizing pain of losing a lover did not sound weak. It sounded really fucking strong. She was a warrior. I spent many, many weeks, even months after separating from Rachel, crying in different areas of my house. Crying in Riley's doorway, crying in my bed, crying in the shower, but for some reason, most often, I found myself crying on my living room floor. And you know what? I was a warrior. Warriors cry on living room floors. Warriors don't hide from their pain. Warriors don't hide from grief. Warriors don't numb out during the hard moments in life. Warriors don't brush off the painful heartbreaks that change their lives forever. Warriors face it all head on. The pain, the grief, the heartbreak. Warriors cry on living room floors. Join the journey by trying these transformation questions and activities. In a current or recent heartbreak or season of grief, did you allow yourself to feel the full intensity of what you were processing? If not, is there room in your heart to allow yourself to go deep into the pain? Feel it all. It is not weak to feel, it makes you a warrior, and it'll change your life. From personal experience, going into that level of pain, grief, heartbreak is scary, yet necessary. Recruit a friend you trust and share your experience with them. You don't have to do it all alone. Healing in community is magic.